What's up, guys? So right here I'm just getting the car jacked up, get the front raised, jack stands under.
Now go strong my truck in.
Get the rear raised up. Put it under the diff. Watch out for the rear diff cover. Double, super, quadruple check we're in the right spot. Put the rear jack stands in. Make sure it's level. And it's good. Alright, right here we're getting the damper off the rear subframe, so we have more room to work with the drain plug. Now we're extracting the fluid from the diff. Looks like we get about 800 mils out. It's hard to pull it on the ground. There's only one hole in the diff, so you have to remove and fill out of the same hole. And if you see on the end there's a hook. That's a special tool from FCP Euro, made just for the BMW diffs, so you can get in the right spot to pull the fluid out. So you see about 800 milliliters, and we'll go fill it up. So use a different 500 mil extraction pump to fill it, and just basically keep putting it in until you see fluid pouring out. So we'll go back and forth a couple of times. It goes through about 2 bottles. The bottles are 500 mils each, so it ends up being right about what I took out. Alright, then we'll torque down the fill bolt, 60 Newton meters. And you do need to replace it because it has a gasket on it. And there you see it pouring out. Alright, we'll put the dampener back on. And we'll just yeet that down a little bit with the Milwaukee. Okay, now we're on to the oil change. Drain the oil. Let that drain. Put our new washer on the drain plug. Remove the filter. Replace the main O-ring on the filter and the small O-ring on the filter. And put the new cartridge in. It should audibly click into place, and then we'll screw that back in to the engine and torque it down 25 Newton meters. The drain bolt was also 25 Newton meters. And this is just a 3/8 that goes into the tool there. Good. Drain bolt back in. Like I said, 25 Newton meters. And then put our oil in. This car takes, the N20 takes 5.1 quarts. Alright, that's about a wrap. So service is done. We did the diff fluid, we did the oil change, and now we're going to move on to the overall inspection. Customer asked us to just look around and see what we find and make a list of everything it needs. So the oil filter housing is seeping a good bit. I wouldn't really call it a leak, but it is You can see some oil there. Coolant looks good. Valve cover looks good. I don't see any leaking valve cover gasket. There is some oil in the bank too, well, between cylinders 3 and 4. Again, valve cover gaskets are doing that. So what the outside gasket isn't leaking, but the inside gasket around the spark plug tubes does have a little bit of a leak. So I told him just to keep an eye on that. Not a huge deal at the moment. Let them know usually when you start smelling the burning oil in the cabin, it's about time to get it done. Down here, all of our ball joints and bushings look good. No dry rot or cracking. Struts, they're probably coming due, but it's okay for now. No play in the wheels, bearings, or anything like that. All that looks good. Tie rods look good. What I'm looking at here is last time I did the transmission service on this car, I noticed that one of the oil lines for the turbo had just a drop of oil around it. So I'm just checking here to make sure that it didn't get worse, and it looks pretty good. I wouldn't say it needs any action at this time. Now we're just checking out all the transmission mount bushings. Here's the rear diff. So right here I found the left driver's side axle pinion seal has a little bit of a leak, so I'll let him know about that. The main drive shaft pinion seal looks good. The center support bearing looked good from, I wasn't right up on it, but looks good from a distance. Rear struts, again, just like the front, probably going to need replacing coming up. Here I found one of the exhaust hanger brackets missing a nut. Kind of weird, but he did say that it has had a rear end accident in the past, so I'm guessing that the repairs from that accident is why somebody forgot to put the nut back on this bracket. And yep, that's pretty much it. I'll see you on the next one.